It's Rhythm and Soul Radio. I am Marco Nobles. We have our virtual studio open, and we have a guest who we've had here before. The last time we talked to him was, about 3 years ago, right before the pandemic, when he released his last full-length project, Into the Blue. He now has his new album, the 80s 8.0. Tim Bowman is with us. How you doing, man?
I'm doing well, and thanks for having me.
I'm glad to have you. Glad to be able to talk to you on this new project featuring a lot of great music that we all know and love. So talk about the album, the 80s 8.0. We're used to 2.0, maybe 3.0. So you went to 8.0. So talk about that.
Well, what the album is, there were so many great hit songs, R&B, pop, whatever, back in the 80s, just a ton of them. And it was a tough process for us to whittle down to 10.
Hmm.
And so we have the 80s and 8.0. So, everybody's done a lot of these songs over. So it was always a 2.0, 3.0, 4.0. So we said, and that's how we got the name 80s 8.0. Yes.
Right, right. So you mentioned there's a lot of great songs that you put on this album, and I'm sure there's a lot that you had to choose from.
Yes.
So whether you choose Joe's songs like Through the Wire and In the Air Tonight and Sarah Smile, and so talk about the process of choosing these particular songs that made it to this album.
Myself and the producer of the record, Wiley Morris, he's wrote a lot of big R&B hits. And my manager, Marlon McLean, we just kind of just shuffled through them and see which ones that we wanted to do. Like I was saying before, it was the 80s 8.0, and then we were going to go to the 90s. But
Hmm.
so many great songs that we left on the table in the 80s 8.0 record, we may have to go back and stay in the 80s because it was just tough. Some of my favorites we didn't even get a chance to record, so
Right, right, right.
it was just a great decade.
Right, right. Absolutely. It's in some ways it's a golden age of music for a lot of folks,
Yeah,
especially if you grew up in it, you
yeah.
know.
I get a lot of people saying, man, I remember I was sitting in high school when I heard this song, or I was here, my wife and I were on vacation when I heard this song. It just takes me back. So just have a lot of nostalgia for that decade.
Right, right, right. So like when you were thinking up, the new project, once you kind of went through, everything with Into the Blue and it was like, you're ready to start creating the next thing, was it always about going back to some of these songs were these songs that you always wanted to record, or did it just come to you one day to say, you know what, let's do something to salute some of this music that we all know and love?
So we had got through with Into the Blue, and then we were doing the touring and the marketing, and it did very well for us. And Wiley Morris called and said, man, you know what? Pretty much what you said. We got to do a salute to some of these songs from the 80s.
Hmm.
And then that's how the process started. You know,
Okay,
started
okay.
like Careless Whispers, Rock With Me, Sell,
Mm,
all these songs,
right, right, right,
There's so many of them.
right. You mentioned before that you all left a lot of songs on the table from the '80s in doing this project. Excuse me. Talk about what are some of your favorites that made it onto the project? That you said, you know what, we can't leave that one off because I love this track right here. So talk about some of those favorites of
Well, it's hard to even remember so
yours.
many of them. It was so many that we left on the table. Yep.
Right, right. But of those that you actually put on the album, what are some of those that really stand out for you?
One of my favorite songs is Careless Whispers. I love that song.
Mm-hmm.
I love that song. I like the musicality of Africa.
Mm-hmm.
We got Ain't Nobody. I love
Okay.
I love that. Um it's just a lot of songs on there that just, and I love Selling.
Okay.
I was a big
Okay.
All in Those fan, so it was just so many songs, and every time we would record them, I always remember where I was when we started,
Mm.
when I first heard them. So it always
Right.
back. It's just a good feel album.
Absolutely, absolutely, and obviously we kind of need that music now anyway. I mean, there's a
Yeah,
lot of
true.
talk about you know what what
I didn't
what
get
music is doing for us
that.
now, and what we need music to do for us. And that music of that time was really about feeling good. It was love. It was fun. It was good times. It was
Yes,
a good vibration all
yeah,
the way around. And so
yes,
that's obviously a lot of what we can look forward to with this album.
exactly, exactly. And that's the whole. And I'm really pleased because I think we captured what we were trying to capture. Because sometimes you see some people when they do remixes, they take it somewhere else.
Hmm.
And we didn't want to do that because these are just great songs everybody already loves.
Right,
So we
right, right.
keep it there. So keep that same vibe, like you say, keep the good vibrations, keep the same vibe. You can sing along with it, and it won't take you somewhere that you don't remember.
Right. So now, speaking of that, because you are a guitarist
Yeah.
in the main. So, but was it? Did you incorporate some of the vocals for some of these songs, or did
Yes.
you?
Yeah. We do
So
have.
yes. So talk about some of the folks you worked with on this project to help bring these songs or bring these songs to life again. I'll say.
Well, I use a saxophone player named Randy Scott. He's on there. Uh, the backgrounds and vocals were done by Wiley Morris, the guy who produced,
Okay.
and he has an incredible voice. So
Mm.
and I and all the production team, we did pretty much most of the work.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
So now with a lot of albums, it may take a long time to really go through the process of doing an album and whittling down the songs to 8, 10, 12, whatever it is. With this as a project of covers, if you will, but you said you didn't deviate much.
Mhm.
So was this a quick album to do, or
No,
was it
no,
still
no.
okay?
Because if you listen to the record and you listen to the original, we took a lot of time to make all the keyboard sounds, the drum sounds, the bass guitar sounds, the horn sounds sound identical to the originals.
Hmm.
It's the same sounds we had. The producer Riley Morse went through a bunch of old synthesizers from way back to get those exact sounds. He had some sounds made just to sound like the drums, just like the old records. So when you hear it, the only thing that's different is the guitar player is playing the lead. So it
Okay.
wasn't a quick project at all. No, no.
Okay, okay. Yeah,
Because we
it's
what
just
we
interesting
do
because
was
I was
we didn't
yeah, it's
want it
interesting
to
because
sound
it's a different process.
yeah, we didn't want it to sound modern and electronic. We wanted it to sound authentic. So that took a lot.
Right, right. Excellent, excellent. Now the album is fully out now. Is that right?
Yes, it's doing very well. Yes, yes.
Excellent. And people can get it on all digital outlets, but we want
All
everybody to go as direct as possible. So tell everybody, all your website, social media, all that stuff that where people can go directly to you and get more information about you and this album and all the previous albums as well.
as far as the record, they can go to any of the platforms, all of them. Spotify, um, you name it, they can get it there. They can get Apple Music, YouTube Music, iTunes. But I'm Tim Bowman at timbowman.com. I'm Tim.Bowman on Instagram. And I have my own YouTube channel on YouTube.
Right. And have you already done some videos or at least lyric videos for
Okay,
some of these songs already?
we have some videos that comes with these records. We're releasing those.
Right.
Like you said, as we release the song, we release the videos. Every song has a video with it.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
That,
You'll
that
see, be able to see that up on the YouTube channel.
okay. Excellent. And the YouTube channel again is also Tim Bowman.
Tim Bowman, yes.
Excellent. Excellent. Now another question: is there going to be some touring around this record?
Yes,
That's
doing some spot dates right now. Uh,
okay.
Doing these songs, and we get ready to put it together. We're going to really hit it big in the springtime. But yeah, dates are coming in, and we're going to to go out there. We're going to mix some of our old songs and some of the new songs from the new record.
Okay.
So we look
Excellent.
forward to it.
All right. And hopefully this is a prelude to the '80s. I don't know 8.0, 2.0, or
I think
something.
I was thinking about that. It's probably going to be the '80s 8.2.
All right, I like it. We can work with that. It's,
Right, right.
it's Rhythm and Soul Radio. We've been talking with Tim Bowman. The new project is the 80s 8.0. We've done versions of some classic songs that we all know and love. And as he said, he's just the guitar doing the lead.
Right.
Um, Tim, thanks a lot for talking with us and sharing with us a little bit. We certainly look forward to the next project, and we look forward to checking out all the videos. I'm going to the YouTube channel because I'm really interested to see the videos that you've created with each song, with each of these classic songs. So we
Thank you
look
for having
forward to
me,
it.
man. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thank you. It's Rhythm and Soul Radio, Tim Bowman.